This week in Washington, D.C., American politics has been shaken by major developments, from new investigations to controversial firings. The independence of federal agencies and the rules guiding public servants are at the heart of these stories. We'll break down the key events, the investigation into former special counsel Jack Smith, the firing of the Bureau of Labor Statistics chief, and what these mean for the country. We'll also clarify the Hatch Act and the difference between the Office of Special Counsel and the DOJ's Special Counsel. These distinctions matter for understanding the current political landscape. Our goal: make sense of these complex issues and why they matter to every American. Let's dive into the week's biggest stories. Here's what you need to know. Jack Smith is a veteran prosecutor with decades of experience, widely respected for his work on high-profile and often controversial cases. Over the years, he has built a reputation as a tough, no-nonsense legal expert, known for his ability to handle complex investigations involving public officials and government corruption. In 2022, Smith was appointed as special counsel by the Department of Justice to oversee several federal investigations into former President Donald Trump, including inquiries into classified documents and efforts to overturn the 2020 election. However, in a surprising turn, Smith himself is now under investigation by the U.S. Office of Special Counsel. The focus is on whether he violated the Hatch Act, a federal law that restricts political activities by government employees to ensure impartiality. The investigation was triggered by a formal complaint from Senator Tom Cotton, a prominent Republican, who alleges that Smith's actions as special counsel were not just legal decisions, but were politically motivated attempts to damage Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. At the heart of the matter is the claim that Smith's investigations may have crossed the line from legitimate law enforcement into the realm of political interference, raising serious questions about the boundaries of justice. While the evidence and motivations are still being debated, the Office of Special Counsel is obligated to thoroughly examine any such claims against federal employees, no matter how high-profile the individual. Although Smith resigned from the Department of Justice in January 2025, the investigation is focused on his conduct during his tenure as special counsel and whether his actions upheld the standards expected of his office. As a result, the national spotlight has shifted from Trump's legal troubles to intense scrutiny of Smith's own decisions and the integrity of the justice system itself. This unfolding case highlights the ongoing tension between law, politics, and public trust in American institutions, sparking debate about the role of prosecutors in politically sensitive cases. The outcome of this investigation could set important precedents and have lasting implications for how justice and politics intersect in the United States for years to come. Jack Smith, a seasoned federal prosecutor, was appointed as special counsel to oversee two of the most consequential investigations in American political history, both centered on former President Donald Trump. The first investigation focused on Trump's efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election, examining actions taken in the days leading up to and following January 6th. The second probe scrutinized Trump's handling of classified documents after leaving office, including whether he improperly retained sensitive materials at his Mar-a-Lago estate and obstructed government efforts to retrieve them. Both investigations culminated in historic federal indictments, marking the first time a former U.S. president faced such serious criminal charges at the national level. Yet, despite the gravity of the charges, a series of legal maneuvers and procedural delays meant that neither case reached trial before the pivotal 2024 presidential election. After Trump's unexpected return to the presidency, Jack Smith resigned from his post, and the newly appointed Department of Justice leadership swiftly moved to close both high-profile cases, citing shifting priorities and political realities. Trump and his supporters now claim the investigations were nothing more than partisan attacks, using the dropped cases as evidence of what they call a politically motivated witch hunt against him. The abrupt dismissal of these cases has become a rallying point for Trump's allies, fueling accusations of partisan interference and deepening divisions within Congress and the public. This ongoing controversy highlights the delicate and often contentious balance between holding leaders accountable under the law and the influence of political power in the justice system. The fallout from these investigations continues to shape national debates over the meaning of justice, the rule of law, and the future of American democracy. Now, the investigation into Jack Smith himself has become a flashpoint, symbolizing the ongoing struggle over accountability, fairness, and the integrity of American institutions. The Hatch Act, passed in 1939, is designed to keep federal government work nonpartisan. It restricts political activities by federal employees, ensuring they don't use their positions to influence elections. For example, federal workers can't campaign for candidates while on duty, or use their titles for political purposes. The complaint against Jack Smith alleges he used his role to sway the 2024 election, a potential Hatch Act violation. Proving political motivation is difficult, but the Office of Special Counsel must investigate. Hatch Act violations are civil, not criminal, and usually result in warnings or job consequences. Since Smith has resigned, the likely result is a public report. Even so, a finding against him could damage his reputation and fuel political debate. President Trump fired Erika McEntarfer, head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, after a disappointing July 2025 jobs report. The BLS is responsible for key economic data, including monthly jobs numbers that influence markets and policy. The report showed only 73,000 jobs added, far below expectations, prompting Trump to claim, without evidence, that the numbers were rigged. McEntarfer, a respected nonpartisan civil servant, was dismissed soon after. The firing shocked Washington, as BLS leaders are expected to be shielded from political pressure. Critics argue this move threatens the independence and credibility of government data. The timing suggests the administration wants only positive economic news. The backlash has come from both Democrats and Republicans. The incident raises questions about the politicization of official statistics. Trust in government data is now under scrutiny. The firing of the BLS chief drew sharp criticism from senior Republicans, not just Democrats. Senator Cynthia Lummis warned that removing a statistician for delivering accurate but unfavorable data undermines trust in government statistics. Senator Rand Paul, usually a Trump ally, also questioned the move, highlighting concerns about government accountability. These reactions show bipartisan worry over the integrity of economic data. Lawmakers fear that politicizing agencies like the BLS could destabilize markets and erode public confidence. The independence of such agencies is seen as vital for sound policy and economic stability. Even within Trump's party, some believe certain lines shouldn't be crossed. The controversy signals a deeper debate over the role of facts in governance. The terms special counsel and office of special counsel sound similar but mean very different things. Jack Smith was a DOJ special counsel, a prosecutor appointed for sensitive investigations, with the power to bring criminal charges. The Office of Special Counsel, OSC by contrast, is an independent agency that enforces civil service rules and investigates Hatch Act violations. The OSC can't prosecute crimes, it can only recommend disciplinary action or issue public reports. The current investigation into Smith is about his conduct as a federal employee, not about reopening Trump's criminal cases. Confusing these roles leads to misunderstanding the stakes. The distinction is crucial for following the current controversy. The OSC's findings will focus on civil, not criminal consequences. Understanding this helps clarify what's really at issue. While the Smith investigation and BLS firing dominate headlines, a host of other major stories are quietly but powerfully shaping the political landscape in Washington and beyond. These stories, though sometimes overshadowed, are fueling debates and raising new questions about the direction of the country. President Trump's recent public comments about a possible pardon for Sean Diddy Combs have sparked a national conversation. Many are questioning the role of personal loyalty and celebrity influence in presidential clemency decisions. Critics argue that such moves could set a precedent for future presidents, blurring the lines between justice and favoritism, while supporters claim it demonstrates compassion and the power of second chances. Meanwhile, the Trump administration's decision to slash over $4 billion in NIH research grants has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Researchers warn that these cuts could stall critical medical breakthroughs, delay life-saving treatments, and even drive top talent out of the country. The debate over funding highlights the ongoing tension between fiscal policy and the nation's commitment to scientific progress. In another development, a newly declassified annex to the Durham report has confirmed that Russian intelligence was indeed behind the 2016 Democratic email hack. This revelation directly counters persistent claims of a domestic conspiracy, reinforcing the ongoing concerns about foreign interference in American elections and the vulnerability of our democratic institutions. The Office of Special Counsel is also under intense scrutiny. After President Trump fired its previous head, he nominated Paul Ingrassia, a figure whose controversial views have led to a heated confirmation battle in the Senate. The delay in his confirmation has left the agency in a state of uncertainty, raising questions about the future of oversight and accountability in government investigations. These developments, from science funding to the independence of investigative agencies, highlight the ongoing battles over science, justice, and agency leadership. Each issue reflects deeper divisions within the country and the government. Each story, whether it's debated in the halls of Congress or on the streets of Washington, adds to the growing sense of political turbulence and uncertainty gripping the nation's capital. The independence and integrity of key institutions are being tested on multiple fronts as leaders grapple with unprecedented challenges and shifting public expectations. The outcome of these battles will not only determine the immediate future of American governance, but will also set the tone for years to come, influencing how power is exercised and how democracy is preserved. In these turbulent times, staying informed and engaged is more important than ever. The headlines may change, but the impact of these stories will be felt for generations. These stories aren't just political drama. They affect the foundations of our democracy and the trust we place in government. The Smith investigation and BLS firing are about fairness, the rule of law, and the integrity of public information. If we can't trust justice or economic data, it's harder for families, businesses, and voters to make informed decisions. The independence of agencies and the enforcement of rules protect everyone, regardless of party. These events test our commitment to facts and equal treatment under the law. Being informed is essential for holding leaders accountable and safeguarding democracy. Your understanding and engagement matter now more than ever.